Okay, this might end up being a two, three, four-part conversation that I'm going to have. This deal with WWE and Netflix. Talk about the real head of the table with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson even getting the name, the rights to the trademark. Like this is serious. Okay, I'm not one to, as soon as news comes out, I jump on it. I like to sit with it a day or two or whatever before I start, really giving my opinion and like doing more research on things. Oh, also on top of it, to have his daughter, her character on NXT, get announced as the youngest GM for NXT. That's crazy too. Great timing. But man, okay. So I watched several interviews with The Rock and some interviews with Nick Khan. And I learned a lot of things that I didn't know. I mean, I knew about the relationship with Rock and Khan that spans, his early days as, in sports entertainment. But I had no idea about the involvement of Paul Levesque, aka Triple H. Okay, I'll just kind of jump into it. In the interview with Pat McAfee, talking with Khan, it's basically Triple H is the one that made the call to Nick Khan regarding some WrestleMania business involving Tim Tebow and Big Show, and that fell through. And they just kind of built the relationship from there. And I guess Nick Khan had some ideas, and Levesque wanted to hear it and said, "Hey, I think you'd be a good fit. Let me try to hook you up with Vince." And he was able to make that happen. He said, upon that first meeting, it was pretty much going to be a go. It was pretty much a go. So, looking at it from that angle, it made me and my light bulb go off. Like, he's just more than just creative, man. Because several years ago, I remember seeing him with Gary V, and I'm not sure if Charlotte is still under Gary Vaynerchuk's management company or media company. I'm not sure, like how. I think it's his management company. I think he has a management company, sports. Yeah, that's right. He has sports management company, and she was one of the clients. I'm not sure like what that situation is to this day, but the fact that he was, he probably is one of the initiators for that. And then when I think back as far as having the performance center, that being a part of his creation, or might be his sole creation, might have been, from his brain saying, hey, if we had XYZ, and hence Vince just, gave him the green light and had the performance center built, that's very instrumental, to what you see as, the performance center and what's supposed to be performance centers around the globe. I guess that's probably going to end up getting picked up. I never thought it would. I thought it would just be, another one of those things that they discuss and that's it. But now I'm seeing like, like he's just not just creative. Like these guys are business minded. So when you heard, the stories of Triple H and Shawn Michaels having these conversations about, hey, it'd be cool if one day we get to run the company and all this other stuff, and these things are coming to fruition. Yeah, this is more than just a goof. And now you throw in, The Rock, and when you hear, at least for me, I've heard, Dwayne Johnson say a lot, Triple H is my best friend. But I mean, look, he said that a lot. He said that about Stone Cold. I've yet to see him on the Stone Cold show. What's going on with that? I mean, it would be nice if they're going to do WrestleMania that he does appear on that goddamn show. Or also, if you listen to the episode that I said about Trinity and listen to the dirt sheets in the interviews with The Rock, he he was asked by Stephen A about Roman Reigns. And this is yesterday. Okay. So this is not something recorded. This is yesterday. He's saying, hey, if we do WrestleMania, it would be ... He's not saying Elimination Chamber. He's not saying Saudi. He's saying WrestleMania. So, I mean, with all that's going on, who knows? I mean, that could have been when he came out and cut the promo. That could have been the setup for next year. That could be the setup for now. I don't know, but it's just so many layers. Like I said, that this could be multi-tiered conversations that I'm picking up when I was listening to this stuff. I was like, wow, okay, so these guys, it's probably been the three of them, have been in discussions for a while regarding what they were going to do, and now, with him sitting on the goddamn board, bro, that's real head of the table. Shh. F what you heard. The other thing that I thought about, when I'm watching and listening to these different interviews, quiet as kept. This is real ish. The Vince era is done. He got sat down. If you ever seen the film with George Clooney called Up in the Air, his character plays, he and Anna Kendrick, they play people that lay people off. They bring them, and I've actually seen this. I've experienced this, not with me, but I've seen this happen with other people. So they have professional people that, sit you in the conference room, tell you that they're going to let you go, give you the severance package and yada, yada, yada. So it prevents people from, going crazy and wilding out in the office, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is specifically what happened with Vince as far as that movie's concerned, but, with all the allegations and, this and that stuff and yada, 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 and up and the down, he got sat down. This is showing me that he got sat down. He's not making these major decisions anymore. And I remember when they went into business with TKO, and Khan was saying, hey, I wouldn't have it without him. I wouldn't do this thing without him. It's tipping the hat, but I started feeling it like, all right, I think he's going to slowly step aside. And then with Dunn stepping down, and they were saying in the interview that it was Dunn and Vince, they, together, put this empire together. He put a lot of work in, and now he just stepped down. Vince got a talking to, and they're like, hey, you want to stay here? Or you want to make money? You want to stay in trouble? You want to make money? And I think they, it's like this thing can go, and we can really expand this business to into areas and territories. I'm talking just business that you've never seen, but you have to step aside. You got to get out the way. And I've had many thoughts about either the ongoings before even hearing about this, just like, I think back, I will bring a name that annoys people. I think back to stuff that Ryback said. He said a lot of things that Vince used to try, it failed. When he tried the supplement thing, it failed. When he tried, I can't remember what else he said, but he was like a lot of things that he would try. It just bombed because his mind is just wrestling, and that's kind of all he knows. Now with him stepping aside, and this is something I always would, when I have conversations, I always say this is what happens sometimes when you don't allow the youth to come in and to help you transition into a next level. And when I'm saying the youth, I'm not talking about just age. I'm talking about people that have youthful minds, being informed with what's coming in, like technology still being young. Hey, we need to get on Instagram. Hey, we need to get on this thing. Hey, this is a new app called Frick Frock. It's like TikTok, but this, we need to be here, we need to be there. Sometimes when your mind isn't there, you just forget that, but you have to step aside and allow people that know better to come in. Side note, I didn't even know that everything that was going on with the XFL as far as the mergers and everything, I'm like, holy snap. It's not even like the XFL. It's like the US. I'm just like, oh, snap. And yeah, okay. Yeah, they've been getting busy. They've been getting busy. Crazy busy. Man, hopefully from this company, we will see certain things that I wanted to see. And like I said, this is why I'm glad I'm speaking back out on these audio casts, because there's different things that frustrated me with the company that I'm like, oh man, if they had just did this, these different things, could really be big. So, yeah, I'm just scanning some of the news reports that's on Google News. Named board member of WWE parent TKO Group granted full ownership of the Rock trademark. I also remember listening to someone discuss how like now Vince is open to having different advertising now in the ring. Where when you look at the show now, it just has just an empty canvas. Now they're going to have, let's say Modelo beer or whatever on the canvas. They're going to be doing better advertising deals. I'm seeing it like, well, how come this never happened before? And then I thought, yeah, it's because of him. He's standing in his own way. Certain things that he had to come out and admit that he did not know how to do. So, yeah, the Vince era is done. All the moves that you're going to see now, it's going to be through these guys. The new generation's taking over, and they're looking to take this company to the next level. AEW, yeah. I'm not going to even get in that conversation. Anyhow, this is what I expect, or this is what I would like to see. I would like to see, and I am not alone on a professional level. I've read a couple of articles with Kazuchika Okada said he wanted to see this, who's now a free agent trying to decide where he wants to sign. Is AEW or WWE or possibly TNA, who knows? But he wants to see like a super show. That would be nice. A New Japan, WWE, this company, that company, a big super show. That would be awesome. You know who was blocking that. I believe that there's possibilities of this happening. I would like to see, and not just that one time, you're probably going to see a couple of these things happen within the next, let's say, 5 years or so. In my opinion, it's not going to be like 10. It's going to be probably faster than what we expect. I would like to see shorter contracts. I think that, hopefully that they could open the door for that, where there was talks of Sasha Banks coming back, or Mercedes coming back as Sasha Banks, or Mercedes, however it was going to be on the table. Rather than holding her for an 18-year deal, she should just come in for the Bayley storyline. That could be a 6-month arc until Bayley takes off, or whatever it is they're going to do with the kabuki, and however the way that it looks to me, it might be changing. After that window's over, hey, if you want to go to New Japan and go over and to AAA and all those other spaces, you're more than welcome to. I really started thinking about that when they brought the Good Brothers back to join AJ Styles, and then all of a sudden it's like, yo, you're not doing anything with them. Same thing with Mia Yim, which was a conversation I had. Now that she being down with those guys, I think that officially makes her Bullet Club, if you ask me. But the fact that she's affiliated with them, she could go over to Japan with them if they all got released, and they could have a really good gimmick now, So, if you're not going to do anything with the talent, don't sign them to long-ass term deals. Forbidden Door now, kick that sumbitch all the way open. Hey, look, we're going to sign you to a 6-month thing. This is the story arc that we have, yada, 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 with the possibility of an extension. And after that, if you want to go here, you want to go there, you can. This and this. This is a throwback, this could be a throwback to the early days where you had a Rocky Johnson wrestling, at WWF, and then, on the weekends was in Hawaii at their territory. If you watch Young Rock, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or if you're just a wrestling historian, you'll know what I'm talking about. And could travel and then go somewhere else and go. This is actually what Charlotte wanted to do. I don't know if it's fresh when she got married or it was before that. She wanted to go over to Mexico to go wrestle and be with her husband at one point. And Triple H, I believe, told her no, but it might not have been from him. It might have been from up above. So now maybe this is something that could happen. It just kind of feels like there's a new energy that could be dawning. So that's one of the things that I would like to see. I would also like to see some sort of, and I know that The Rock was doing this. I think he has a management deal with Becky, or I don't know if they're signed to his company or he got them agents. I can't really recall. She's one. I think Seth's another. Bianca's another. Right? I would like to see some sort of management. I would like to see their film department restructured with classier films. That's another thing that I was thinking about with Vince. He couldn't do it. That's why a lot of those movies that came out, they seemed like they would be movies almost. He had a good run with The Marine, good run with Walking Tall. He had some involvement with the Welcome to the Jungle, because he still had the reins on Rock. But, imagine if he really, really was at his true potential, just really. And I remember wrestler Paul London said he was one of the guys. He said, I'm the one that I went to them before they even started doing films and said, hey, why don't we have some sort of like a film school? I would love to direct these movies and write some stuff. And once again, Vince basically shitted on it, and he's like, and what do you see today? You see WWE films, this and this. They blew plenty of opportunities. How the hell did you have Macy Estrella there and you have Montez Ford there and you don't do another Marine with both of their backgrounds? Come on, bro. That's money left on the table. But if you have a strong division, kind of like a Netflix, if you can grab some of those people and say, hey, look, how do we build this film division up so we could really put some high-end films? You don't even understand what that does to this brand, because now, all right, so let me set up what I envisioned, right? Let me give you a taste. When they said that they were doing, when George Miller, who does the Mad Max franchise, when he said he was doing a Furiosa film, I immediately said, yo, that's Rhea Ripley. That's fucking Rhea Ripley right there. That's Furiosa. And when I saw the trailer, I said, that is Rhea's part. If you would have just had an open mind and said, I want her for this part. Who would I got to do? Who I got to call? You got to go see this young lady and you should cast her. And, when it was in its early stages, I'm thinking about the last Mad Max. And I'm like, man, I could see her as Furiosa, and then I can see like the Iconics, all these Aussies. I'm like, I can see like the Iconics bringing some sort of like a humor to it in this, and then I'm like, there's Tegan, there's Tennille, there's all these people. Not that you have to flood it up, because if you oversaturate it, then it becomes like a wrestling film. But for sure, that's Demi's part, bro. Furiosa is, and when you see her now, I'm like, that is fucking Furiosa. And the fact that that ball was dropped, bro, come on. You got to wake up. This is the shit that I'm talking about. So if they had some sort of management firm or something, where not only do we make you WWE superstars, quote unquote, but we're going to put you in top notch. We're going to put you in the space for you to go head to head in these auditions or whatever, to meet with these people, to put you in top high end movies. That's even more of a reason to want to go to that company over other companies. You're like, look, I'm trying to get put on in this space over here. I'm talented with this, but I like someone like Becky. I said in an earlier podcast, that when I recognized her as being an actress, because I can spot trained people, and Demi's one of those people, unless I'm bugging out, her instincts on the screen, I look at her and I go, she's fucking trained. The stuff that I've seen her do, I'm like, this chick is trained. She may not talk about it, but she's trained. When I found out that Becky I was like, I knew it. Becky looks like fucking Femke Johnson. When you look at her, that's X-Men right there, bro. So, look, it is what it is. But if they had that and they locked the film division, television, and stopped doing cheesy stuff, we're going to put them on Family Feud. Fuck that. That day is done. We're going to book them on Friends. We have a new show called Friends, whatever. And, we want 3 people. We want Cora Jade, this one and that one. And send them out. And don't just do the whole wrestling thing. I really do think that if they can get that branch of WWE together, you could forget about it. And I'm not talking about like look what they did with the Big Show. Why couldn't he have a solid fucking show? Why couldn't he play a father? He adopted 2 kids, and you get the top writers. There's a shitload of writers, even ones you don't even know. There's a shitload of really great, talented writers. You just don't have to sell out and go, we have Netflix. Oh, I'll just kick this there, and then that's it. Like, no, dude. Like, I want this show to be on for 6 seasons on fucking Netflix. We need the best, not just. I'm just going to, and that's another reason when you check out testimonies from Paul White. He wasn't taken seriously, and then he bounced. Same thing with Mark Henry. He wasn't taken seriously by Vince. Vince sees these guys as one-dimensional. You're this person to sit. And they just leave. And it's like, your mind is closed. So you need new energy to come in and figure this out. So this company can go into new directions. So if they can do something like that, oh man, you can forget about it. Now, it's unfortunate that, someone like a Mandy Rose is no longer with the company but then again, she kind of played herself with doing all the nudity, and I'll explain that, in a second, because she would have been one that could have been good. And I know that she was taking acting lessons. She would have been good to see in a movie. But it's the old adage of like what Denzel Washington would say. He's like, hey, and it's kind of an older way of thinking, which is what I'm talking about, but this kind of goes in this alignment. He used to tell the talent, why would you do TV? If you're a film star, you make the people come pay to come see you, right? So with that mindset, why would you do all this nudity and high-end stuff for OnlyFans for bread? I can understand that. And now no one really wants to go see you in a sex rom-com or a romantic situation in a film because they've already seen you nude 30 million times over. You dig? But someone like that would have been if they could really get that film division, someone like her would have been, could really be good. They got a lot of other talent that I'm sure could really knock Ish out the ball. But I'm talking about when Mandy was hot, before she got released, when she was at her apex. If she had stayed the course with this, please believe, with Swiss cheese, bro. Oh my gosh. So, I would really like to see their film entertainment division taken to the next level, even if it's starting with the reality show with Tez and Bianca. This could be, next level-ish. I told you this would be multi-tiered. We're seeing a lot of ACL tears. And they started talking about, hey, is the trainers, what's going on? Cora Jade just got an ACL tear. We just heard Seth, he has an MCL tear and a meniscus tear. We need to, 1, check the trainers, and 2, let's start cutting down the schedule. You don't need them on the road anymore for 3,000 days out the year. They are now making money hand over fist. It was different when the McMahon thing was scraping it and getting it to become a billionaire. We got to sell out all the houses and this and that. That day is dead. He's making money with all these different entities. You don't need these guys. And I just was listening. I don't know what it was. It was Conan and them. They were discussing how, unless I'm bugging out, but I think it was him. Paul has now let the talent go celebrate Christmas. They don't have to work. They get a week off, and we need more things like that for the talent. Just for the talent, they need more things. You don't have to keep them on. And I know they were talking about it 2 years ago, but they always talk about that crap. Cut that shit down. At least start with 200 dates out the year, and then another 2 more years. Once the Netflix thing gets popping, slice it down to 175. You can do it. It's a wear and tear on these guys. On the road, this and that. It's like they don't always have to be like this. I'm not talking about making people get soft, but just the mentality needs to be a little bit easier in the schedule. Sometimes it makes people happier, with a peace of mind. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people from those other companies, they won't rush over to WWE because they don't want to be on the road. I remember Will Ospreay said that. He was like, I thought about WWE, but do I really want to be on the road all that time? Cody said it when he signed on. He was like, look, I'm getting hit up by a lot of people from the other company, and they got to really think about, do they really want to be on the road this much? Can you do this? Can you make that balance? And some people it's for and some people it's not. If the schedule isn't that crazy, why wouldn't you, be able to sign, a Will Hobbs or something like that easier outside of just money? So that's something that I would hope that, eventually we would see change, because it makes it easier on the talent. They're wear and tear in their body. If you think a football player has it, and that's 18, sometimes 20, 22 weeks if you go into Super Bowl, and then you're talking about practice, getting ready for, preseason and all that stuff, the wear and tear in your body. 52 weeks out the goddamn year. Jumping off high rope, this one, that one, concussed. Anyhow, yeah, that would be awesome if that could change as well. Because now they have to, it's not like they never did, but with someone like, Rock and Paul and Khan, and when I'm actually sitting listening to Khan, like I've never even heard him speak, to be honest, that I could recall. And I'm like, yo, he sounds so alpha that I could see him. He sounds like Mr. Getting Shit Done. I'm just listening to him talk to McAfee, and I'm like, yo, this dude, he's alpha. Like he knew a plan, he had it, and I can see why he's been put into play to get this done. So this is going to be continuously interesting. I mean, this to me is not even, I could really care less about the Netflix deal. It's more about the business minds of Dwayne and the business minds of Nick and the business mind of Paul Levesque, and watching all this happen, especially for Paul, because I didn't know that he was doing all that. I was like, oh, snap, he's the one that's putting stuff into play. We just automatically just think it's Vince. It's like, no, he's putting certain things into motion. Like, oh, snap. Okay, I get it. I'm sure, Stephanie doesn't get mentioned because we haven't seen high no hair ass in a while. But this is very, very interesting to see tides turn, and how much are they going to turn? So I'm going to leave it at that. There's other layers. There's other layers. So, yeah. Okay, that was a mouthful. I'm out.